Welcome back to episode 227 of the Craftverse series, where we're continuing our build of this Guardian Tower, modeled primarily after the Ocean Monument, but also partially off of the end, hence the end rods, because of spawn being where I had to shove all of my shulkers through in order to get them into the overworld. Yeah, it's only fitting. But last episode, we went ahead and got the lower border of our roofline in. And this time, we're going to be adding in an additional layer. So what we're doing here is this, and this all the way around. But we also need to extend one out of the sea lanterns all the way around the corners. So we want it to look like that. But just the corners. Beyond that, we extend these all the way out. So the fastest way to get it done is just take your solid block all the way down, just all the way down, all the way around. Now you're high enough up and it's well enough lit that nothing should be able to get to you. So after you're done with this part, you continue to bring this line all the way to the edge. You can make it easier on yourself and just put these right here. That way you don't accidentally go over and risk dropping a block. That is up to you. It's not required to do a certain way. It's just required to get a certain result. So, however you get to that point, you don't even have to show your work. So I'm going to go ahead and extend this out all the way and then make it a little bit safer by putting in the additional lighting. You're not going to be able to see literally any of these by the time we're done. They're just there for lighting. Okay, so now we can wrap this all the way around. I'm going to do it from on top. And remember to stop at the corner. And then turn, and then bring it across. I know some of you are following along with this build, so I'm trying to make it as detailed as I can while not repeating myself too much. There is a lot of repetition in this design. I do understand. So that's why I'm showing you the gist of how to get to certain milestones, and then you can layer it as many times as you want. Don't fall off now. Do not fall off your build. It's a very, very important step. Not falling off your build. Alright, so this is going to be for the same darker block as what's underneath here that we put in at the end of last episode. And it's not going to have the trap doors underneath it. That's what this is for. That is just meant to be an additional support for your walkway. That is shaded in a darker tone than the walkway and wall blocks themselves. Now normally I don't use the same block for the walkway and the pillar walls, but there's not too many block choices you can make for Guardian Farm related stuff. And I'm already utilizing all forms of prismarine, so. But you want to wrap all the way around one more ring of solid blocks. There's a lot of solids that go into this. What did I just say about falling off your build? The dog just yelled at me like, you just told them not to fall off and you fell off. Yes, I know. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So, that is the last of the placed block. Now we want to go for stairs. Ring all the way around so you don't see any of these lights from this tier. Okay, now they're fully invisible. So from here, what you want to do is go out one block over from the corner, and then just gradually fill in the same level. It's better to stay crouched. Just carefully do it one piece at a time. Okay, now we're at here, so we want to go boop, leaving this corner completely untouched. That's important for now. Doesn't really matter how you place them, if you have forward placement or if you back up to place them, as long as you do it safely. And again, do not fall off your build. Just because I messed up does not mean it's part of the demonstration. Okay, if you do this by accident, there's a chance that you'll break it and it'll jump high enough that you'll be able to catch it. Otherwise, it's just going to be on the next tier down. Potentially all the way on the floor, depending on where you build these particular designs. I'm trying to keep them lore focused, personally, which is why this one is primarily Guardian Farm parts next to the Guardian Farm itself, but end stone and end rods because of the shulker transport. So that's my in-house lore. And then we want to do this, this, and then make a W shape. Put solid, solid, and placeholder solid break. Half slab, stair, stair. And that is the corner bit of the roof in. And then you just take right here all the way down with slabs. Make sure you leave for the W shape of stairs. Solid, solid, placeholder solid, stair, stair, slab. As long as it results in stair, stair, slab, it doesn't matter if you do slab, stair, stair. Again, we're after the result, not showing our work. It doesn't have to be exactly done the same way as long as it looks the same in the final product. And sometimes they will try to place right there. There's not much you can really do about that. It's all hitbox related nonsense. You can just avoid the extra placeholder altogether and just put your stair in and then put the solid on the back of the stair. That's also an option you have. Stretch this all the way to the edge. Make the last corner W. Solid, solid, and I'm going to demonstrate stair, solid, cap, stair. And then we just bring this all the way around with slab. And then for the most part, this section of the roof is done. I just have to get that darker section redone all the way underneath here the same way. And because of that, we're also going to be putting another one of those in the middle. on all four corners, or sides rather, not corners. Right in the center. Then it's just a matter of getting that row all the way done. And there's one secret piece to this. It's optional. You can either do leaf litter, which I already had brought in, or you can get fancy with it. If I can find my fancy piece. There's my fancy piece. It's gonna take about 17 or 19 on each corner, so I really only need the 2 stacks for each level. Or alternatively, you can use leaf litter, but in order to fully make the block spawn-proofed, you need 4 leaf litter per block, so multiply whatever we use of the cactus flowers times 4 per level. It's a lot. So it takes a lot more for the game to render all of it than it does to render just a single cactus flower. So I'm going to go ahead and get these pre-cut so I don't have to come back and I can get that one level fully installed. Okay. It's not where that's going to go, but I don't feel like flying if I don't have to right now. So, put these along the tops of these slabs for a little bit of extra coloring. Now, my reasoning for this is primarily because you are considering a guardian farm from it's at an ocean, and most of the time an ocean will be connected to one desert or another. And these are only found on cacti, which are in deserts. I believe they might also be found in red deserts and potentially mesas, but primarily deserts is where you're going to find them. You might be lucky enough to get one from a wandering trader, which I think they have a chance of selling them. They've started selling weapons now, so I guess they can sell whatever the heck they want. We're going to bring this all the way down and around. And you can do this whichever method seems easiest to you. What I normally do is just do right here along these flats all the way around, and then just come back and do each individual side. But sometimes you end up not being at the best of angles to do that, and end up stepping on your stairs and going up a level, and then having things be not right. So it's entirely up to you. I also normally don't put the light blocks in place until after I have these done, so they're not in my way. Every now and then you gotta switch it up, you know? Make it interesting if you build it 15 times like I have. I'm also going to be building an iteration of the Nether Tower on Nether Survival with Moz at some point. And I already have an area picked out for it, so we'll see which episode comes out first. The one where I build that, or the one where you see this conversation. As of recording this episode of Craftverse, I have not yet built that design on the Nether Survival series. That may change soon, though. Okay, so as of this moment, you don't need to do anything else with this tier, because it's fully spawn-proof between slab, stair, slab, and these cactus flowers standing up here, and this is all installed. However, once we get the next roofing installed, you will need to come back here in order to quickly add in the next bits for the underside of this. And that will make more sense in a moment, because I'm going to have to install those externally out here, as well as putting in the slabs that cover those lanterns. So the one right here, all the way up on each tier, should be the only sea lantern visible on the outside. The only other lighting should be end rods. If you're following my precise design for this build. It's not mandatory that you do, but I appreciate that if you do. So what I need to grab now is chains and more end rods. That's not where that's supposed to go, don't worry. Also need slabs. But it's going to be faster to do this part from outside. Okay, so we're going to be placing 1, 2, and 3 chains, and then grabbing the end rods. It's going to be an upside down end rod on each one as it's hanging from the chain. And remember to cover your sea lanterns with the same block as your roof. That way it looks like it's all one piece. And then remember to remove these additional towering blocks because you won't be needing them. And that's what each corner of the roof is supposed to be. It dips up for a little bit of depth and then drops down the lighting as a hanging light. Now, normally for my builds, those aren't end rods, but it will work best with this one if it is. I've tried using the sea lanterns, but it just looks a little bit too Breath of the Wild hanging square bomb for my taste. And that's not what I'm going for with this at all. So let's do that. That'll work. Maybe. That might be a little bit too high up. Best if I go right here instead. 1, 2, 3. Upside down end rod. Break those. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. End rod. Well, at least I can go pick up the other one that fell. And then we have one more corner to do, and then we're pretty much done. Ha. You are not permitted to have golden clothing. You had 3 pieces that all dropped. That very rarely happens. On either of those points. Now, as of this moment, the only sea lanterns visible are the ones underneath the roof. It's the way it should be. One, two, 2, and 3, and upside down end rod. And now all of these roofs are in. So let's get a better view of everything. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Stark contrast with the darker panels of the wood, the darker stairs up there for the supports, the lighter exposed to the sun roofing with the flowers that are blooming because they're exposed to the sun, the hanging lights, the singular visible sea lantern on each outside side. And that is essentially what you should have stacked as high as you want it stacked. From the bottom, where I currently have this, there's only one level that has a divide, and that's the main entrance. Beyond that, every other level of the outside railing is completely wraparound. And this is what you should see. You don't see that one ring of sea lanterns that's directly behind all of the roof. But that's where you know where the roof is. You will see it on the inside, and that's what you should see. So now I'm going to go ahead and stack this up as many times as I need to, which in my case is 4 of these entrances. The base one, 1, 1, and then 1 more. But the top one is going to have the full cap of the roof. So now I can deposit some of these pieces and then go grab the thing out that I need. I need to keep that. These I do need. These I don't currently, so we're just going to drop them off. And then the end rods to keep things organized. We'll just go back where they belong. Good deal. Chuck those. Okay, let's grab. Okay, that, for organization's sake. You. And 2 of them. These purely get cut into prismarine slabs. That'll be good for a little while. Oop. Just sounded like a Yiga clan member grabbing a banana from Breath of the Wild. That was not what I was trying for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 is incomplete. Yeah, that should be fine. Run up. And we start on the next layer. And I can actually remove that. Right. No, 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 no. Not this one. This one is actually was correct. This isn't the 5 layer. This is a 3 layer. It was 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. And then 3, 2. No. Like I said, my controller is off-brand, and it sometimes does not hit the button that I'm trying for. Try to bring this all the way up along with you. Okay, from here you actually grab this, pop that in, and go all the way down. Each time you hit a corner, just increase your sea lantern. Plunk that. Alright, now it's safe to bring in the next layer of wraparound all the way up to where you currently sit. At these corners, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are straight across, and then you have a elevated L shape. That way it will always measure out properly with a 17 by 17 square prism going all the way up. And this way you don't have to worry about trying to get things in from ground level. Because you're already partially there. It's easy to get grand plans and then fall off partway through. So you gotta remember to pace yourself and go at a sustainable rate. You can just get one section, like just doing the outer shell, then worry about doing the roofing, which doesn't really make for good visuals until you get to a certain point. Or you can do what I'm doing and try and expand as you go. Didn't realize I'd already expanded all 4 of those. See, it's easy to get lost in what I'm doing while I'm talking. So now we want to expand this. Two, three. Oh, went a bit too fast for it. One last one. Now we bring this corner up, put that one down. Makes me nervous every time. Sometimes if you just minutely nudge the button, it doesn't count as you holding it anymore, and then you fall through. Okay, so now this tier is matching. That's good. This is what you should be left with. See what it looks like at night. Already very well brightened. How far away can it be seen from the ocean? Pretty well right here. If I go further out to say the third or fourth pillar, this would be the third. It's still faintly visible, and you'll notice as you come closer that certain parts are darker shaded and certain parts are lighter, even though they are the same block. And I've noticed that I can be staring at it and it can change and fluctuate its hue and saturation. Because right now, to me, it looks kind of bluish. When I first rolled up here, it was greenish. Prismarine is interesting as a block. The bricks and the dark prismarine don't have that quality. It's one of the reasons I chose it for the roofing. Also, it's basically a stone, like green cobblestone, and I want to have stones be the roof block, whereas the bricks are pathway or underside supports. This is already a good start to the next tier. So I'm going to go ahead and finish as many stacks of this as I need to do. And then I'll come back with you next episode when we do the roofing, the final touch roofing. And then you can see the final product, at least from as high as I'm going to stack it. You can stack it as many times as you want, as long as you follow the 3-5 method. 3 of whatever tier of block you're doing, that one line of roof, 5 of whatever tier of block you're doing, and then 2 rings of that particular. Let me explain a little better. I have endstone and prismarine. That's it. Prismarine is my outline block, also my pillars. The endstone is the 3x5. So we do 3 on this tier, 1 line of the prismarine, and then 5 of the endstone, and then 2 lines of the prismarine going up. And then we're back to 3. And on any of the 3s, we don't fill in that center point because that's where you walk in and out of. On the 5s, you do because that's where the roof wraps around it. That's why it's 3-5-3-5. Now, I'm only going to do 3 mid-tiers of roofing, with the top being the final product cap. There's only so high you can go, and I'm started at 76. So, you could start from a lower level and get a much taller or even wider roof if you really wanted to go that route. I might experiment with that in the future with my design and see how well that translates. We'll see. But for right now, that's going to do it for this episode. I'll see you when I've got a few more stacks of this setup going. And we'll cap it off with the roof next time I see you. Have a good one.